Our car tester Reinhold Deisenhofer says it would be a mistake to think wealthy people don't care about the environment. The Bentley Flying Spur is a case in point. The V8 engine version has proved a hit with well-heeled customers. It's more fuel efficient and produces 40% less CO2 than the 12-cylinder engine. Now, Bentley's introduced the Flying Spur V8S with a more powerful engine and a crisper feel thanks to its sportily tuned suspension. The Flying Spur's suspension system has been overhauled. Its handling and responsiveness have been improved. The independent computer-controlled air suspension ensures a smooth ride throughout, despite the car's sportier engine. The vehicle's optimized electronic stability control allows increased wheel slip at higher speeds, with engine torque reinstated more quickly after the system intervenes. Reinhold notes that the S in V8S stands for a more sporty air suspension and a more responsive powertrain. In S mode, the car won't change from 7th to 8th gear despite rising revs. This allows you to reach maximum speed more quickly. Overall, the Bentley's an agile ride, even though this behemoth weighs 2.5 tons. Some of the Bentley's design features hint at its new, more powerful specs. For example, the dark-tinted headlights and black honeycomb grille, which has come to replace the more conservative chrome grille. Overall, the Bentley's been given a bolder look. Reinhold admits that a feature-packed Bentley will set you back at least 200,000 euros, plus tax. But you'll enjoy maximum comfort while breezing along at 300 kilometers or more. For this price tag, you'll get more than 500 horsepower, lavish leather upholstery, an exquisite ambience, and excellent sound. No wonder, given its 4-liter twin-turbocharged engine. The Flying Spur is 5.3 meters long, making it one of the largest passenger vehicles on the road. The chrome finish adds to its luxurious appeal. Numerous V8S emblems are a reminder of the Bentley's athletic credentials. The interior is a luxurious tour de force, lavish leather upholstery, massage seats. No wish is too small or too large here. From the sat-nav to the analog clock and down to the smallest buttons, the interior has been designed with an eye to quality and detail. There's a great deal of chrome, which won't be to everyone's liking. And in the back, luxury abounds as well. For example, the air vents can be toggled via remote control. Optional extras include LCD screens, fold-out tables, and more. The sky's the limit. Really. At the rear, there's also plenty of chrome, including on the dark-tinted taillights, double exhaust pipes, and Bentley logo. The trunk offers 475 liters of cargo space. The most important technical update involves the Bentley's 4-liter V8 engine. It now has an output of 388 kilowatts and a maximum torque of 680 Newton-meters. This lets it accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers in just 4.9 seconds, delivering a maximum speed of 306 kilometers per hour. But despite these specs, Bentley says the V8 hasn't become more fuel-hungry. Manufacturer ratings put fuel consumption at 10.9 liters per 100 kilometers. So you can drive up to 830 kilometers on a full tank. The V8S comes with an 8-speed automatic transmission. 40% of the power is distributed to the front axle, 60% to the rear axle. In Germany, an entry-level Bentley Flying Spur V8S will set you back more than 150,000 euros. The feature-packed model we're testing comes at 200,000 euros. Reinhold says the legendary Bentley boys from the 1920s would have loved the V8S. Why? They established Bentley's racing credentials and would have loved the V8S top speed of over 300 kilometers an hour, not to mention its ability to accelerate from 0 to 100 in just 5 seconds. Volkswagen is celebrating the opening of its new plant in Wyjaśnia, Poland. Around 1,000 guests, politicians, business leaders, as well as staff and union representatives were on hand as production of the new Crafter model officially began. Here, some 3,000 employees are expected to produce around 100,000 vehicles a year. VW's Andreas Rentschler says around 2 or 2.5 years ago, they were searching for a production location. VW commercial vehicles already had plants in Poland. The Caddies built here. MAN and Scania have factories here. Those good experiences led them to build the new Crafter plant here too. VW has already invested around 800 million euros in the new factory. 437 state-of-the-art robots ensure that the highest quality standards are met. The new plant was built in record time, just 23 months. It's an important building block in what VW has touted as its new strategic course for light commercial vehicles. Andreas Rentschler says the new Crafter is positioned in a growing segment. Think about all the city traffic, package deliveries, and so forth. With its many variants, the Crafter is one of a kind. Starting next year, it'll even be offered with electric drive. He says the Crafter is unlike anything else on the market. Increasingly, commercial vans are offering the kinds of creature comforts once reserved for passenger cars. So the new Crafter has optional electronically adjustable seats. Other options include a new power steering system and numerous driver assists. And the new Crafter is a master when it comes to individualization. Eckhard Schultz says there are 69 body variants and derivatives, various drive systems, front wheel, rear wheel, and standard. And then there are all the conversions. 70% conversions means that the vehicle is customized for a specific purpose, whether for a handyman or the fire department. Either they do that themselves, here in Wyjaśnia, or with partners who are conversion specialists. So most every vehicle is unique.
Eigentlich ist fast jedes Fahrzeug ein Unikat.
Even in the basic layout of its cargo area, the Crafter provides plenty of room for individuality. Special rails along the floors and the walls serve to hold objects in place. This allows customers to reuse fittings like shelves and cupboards taken from other vehicles. Just a few weeks ago, the Crafter was named International Van of the Year 2017 by a jury of 24 journalists from top European commercial vehicle magazines. From standard to customized versions of the Crafter, including flatbed pickups and emergency vehicles, the new plant in Wyjaśnia will produce them all. In February 2017, BMW will launch the 7th generation of its 5 Series sedan. The most important innovations will include better driving performance, a host of driver assist systems, greatly enhanced connectivity, and an innovative control system. In Germany, the 530i sedan will start at around 50,000 euros. The latest generation Mercedes-AMG E63 S4matic Plus is redefining the performance sedan. Its 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 engine generates 450 kilowatts of power, making this the most powerful E-Class Mercedes ever. The Mercedes sprints from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.4 seconds, setting a new record in its category. In Europe, the Ford Fiesta is practically a household name. It's no wonder. For several years in a row, the Fiesta was Europe's best-selling small car. Even though the company was relatively late to enter the subcompact segment, this year marks the Fiesta's 40th anniversary. But this is no ordinary Fiesta. For fans of the brand, one look at the radiator grille reveals that this is a sporty Fiesta ST. The matte black rims and asphalt gray paint job narrow it down further. This is a limited edition ST200. The ST200 badge also features prominently on the dash. Silver stitching on the seats and seatbelt are another sporty flourish. And the Recaro bucket seats in front also lend the car a track-ready appearance. Car tester Andre Zimmerman says the interior is slightly dated, like here in the small sat-nav display. But if you're driving the ST200 the way it's meant to be driven, you won't notice that. The car's exterior design lives up to its performance specs. It sports 200 horsepower or 147 kilowatts under the hood and sprints from 0 to 100 in 6.7 seconds. The overboost function briefly ups the power to 158 kilowatts and 320 newton meters of torque. Quite the accomplishment for a car of this size. And the ST200, Andre says, one push of the ESC button lets you switch the car into sport mode. That's a fun touch because you can point to the speedometer and tell your friends, look, no ESC. But all kidding aside, it's a nicely configured mode that gives a bit more freedom. There's still plenty of feedback though, so you notice right away if the front wheels are losing their grip. Then you can let up on the gas, and the rear snaps back into position, and you're on track again. It's a lot of fun, and even in sport mode, if things start to go wrong, the ESC will kick in.
Im Sportmodus hat man trotzdem immer noch die Sicherheit, wenn alles schief geht, dass das ESC einem hilft.
Like in the regular ST, the 200 is available in manual transmission only. But like the rest of the car, the ST200's transmission has also been given an overhaul. Compared to the regular Fiesta ST, Andre says the ST200 has a shorter final drive ratio. On a country road like this in a Porsche, you couldn't go much beyond second gear without breaking the speed limit. But here, you could shift from first through to fourth as much as you like, which makes for an enjoyable driving experience.
Und bin so viel mehr eingebunden in das Fahrgeschehen. Und das sorgt echt für einen sehr hohen Spaßfaktor.
But the ST200 offers more than a sporty design and added performance. The steering is now more precise. A shorter steering arm and upgraded front steering knuckle make for better cornering and agility. The brakes have also been improved, and the chassis has also been equipped with new components. A new suspension setup is designed to create the perfect blend of performance and comfort. Andre says the ST200 is a knockout when it comes to driving enjoyment. He recommends the car to anyone who's looking for a small, sporty car. But many of the updates, like the new suspension adjustment, developed especially for the ST200, have meanwhile been incorporated into the stock Europe market ST series. That makes the extra 4,000 euros you have to shell out for the ST200 a bit harder to swallow. As a highly limited edition, the ST200 seemed like a good investment at first, but it sold so well in its first few weeks that Ford decided to expand production. That's made the investment aspect a bit less compelling.
Dieses Argument, was für ihn spricht, leider auch ein bisschen hinfällig geworden.
So, in the end, it's left to customers to decide whether to celebrate 4 decades of the Ford Fiesta with an ST200 limited edition or the stock ST. In Europe, the stock ST is now available in a 5-door version too, while the ST200 comes only as a double-door hot hatch. The Hyundai Santa Fe has been around for 15 years and 3 model generations. But even the car that helped launch the SUV trend can reinvent itself. In the current version, the Santa Fe has been transformed to a 7-seater. We tried out the most powerful diesel version with a 6-speed manual transmission and all-wheel drive. The Santa Fe comes with 2 other engine variants, a 2-liter diesel and a 2.4-liter gasoline engine. After its overhaul, the current 2.2-liter diesel also meets the Euro 6 emission standards. In the 2 diesel models, an automatic start-stop system helps save fuel. For our test vehicle, manufacturer ratings put fuel consumption at 6 liters per 100 kilometers. Top speed is 203 kilometers per hour. Our car tester Emmanuel Schaefer says the 2.2-liter diesel, which sports 145 kilowatts or 200 horsepower, has a relatively free revving engine, especially at lower engine speeds. So you get plenty of torque under 2,000 RPMs. That's apparent during acceleration and works quite well. Inside, 3 trim levels are offered for the Santa Fe, all of which have been expanded. The instrument panel is almost sculptural in its layout and is dominated by 2 oval housings. On the safety front, there are both front sensors as well as reversing sensors with a warning system. The diesel version we're testing has a manual transmission, but a 6-speed automatic is available too. 7 airbags are standard in all equipment versions. Heated seats in front and back add to the comfort. Leather seats are standard in the middle and top range packages. When the 3rd row of seats are folded down, cargo capacity is 534 liters, which is equivalent to the 5-seater version. Emmanuel gives the rear seats a try. There's enough room, a hand's width at the knee, enough for an excursion or even a holiday. Now he'll test the 3rd row.
Jetzt gucken wir mal, wie das mit der 3. Sitzreihe ist. Okay.
It's not that easy to get in. Now that he's sitting, he says it's clear. This back row is best suited for children and for shorter trips. And then you'll want out again.
Gedacht ist das Ganze, naja, eher für Kinder und auch nur für kurze Strecken. Schnell wieder raus.
The facelift is most apparent in front, and especially at the radiator grille and bumpers. There's more chrome surrounding the fog lights, which is a nice visual accent. The headlights themselves have also been redesigned. Viewed from the side, the slightly pitched windshield and sloping roofline are apparent. The side sills and large wheel wells lend the car a robust appearance. It's all topped off with a sporty rear roof spoiler. The more elegant exterior design is rounded off with new LED rear taillights. Emmanuel says that for the driver, the Hyundai has a rather stately feel. Like most SUVs, you're perched fairly high, and the suspension is a bit softer, which makes for a smooth ride. But when you take curves at higher speed, you do notice the car has a relatively greater tendency to roll. But an SUV isn't really intended for fast driving on curvy roads. All in all, Emmanuel says the Hyundai Santa Fe is a very stylish car, especially when compared to the earlier generation. Those were basically like a block, very bulky and not elegant at all. But this one is both stylish and sporty, despite its rather high weight. Emmanuel says that if he were ever in the market for an SUV, the Santa Fe would definitely go on his short list.
Kaufen müsste oder wollen würde, dann wäre der Santa Fe auf jeden Fall in der näheren Auswahl.
For an SUV, the base model is relatively affordable. In Germany, the 5-seater gasoline engine variant is available for around 31,000 euros. A 7-seater Santa Fe, though, will set you back at least 43,000. Bright headlights emerge from the darkness of this forest in eastern Bavaria. The 3-city rally is taking place here. It's the finale of the German Rally Championship. Normally, private teams take part in the competition, but recently more and more car manufacturers have been getting in on the action. Skoda is one of them, and its driver Fabian Kreim, who's been competing at this level for just 2 years, knows the championship title is within his grasp. But he'll really have to motor to fend off a challenge from Peugeot's Christian Riedmann. Fabian says that's easier during the day because you can see more, but rally drivers must be able to drive at night too. It's challenging as taking notes is vital. The Skoda mechanics look pretty relaxed as they perform a routine checkup on his car, though they have just 45 minutes to do it. While the Skoda team is experiencing no real technical problems, it's a different story at Peugeot. Here, they feverishly work on the transmission right up to the deadline. Skoda's team leader knows what it's like when things go wrong and you're in charge. He says, as a driver, you're the one at the wheel, so if you mess up, you'll pay the price. But as team leader, you're often punished for things you've no control over, when a mechanic makes a mistake or technical problems. But he says he likes the job, especially working with young people.
Es gefällt mir sehr gut und ich habe sehr viel Freude dabei, dass man halt mit Jung und Alt arbeiten kann, so wie es jetzt auch speziell in Deutschland ist.
The next day, they take part in a special stage in which drivers must complete a prescribed circuit twice. The first time around, both Fabian Kreim and Christian Riedmann clock fast times. But Peugeot fans wait in vain for Riedmann to come around again. A damaged transmission has put him out of action and ensured that this year's German Rally Championship title will go to Skoda. Fabian Kreim is relieved. He says he can now stop worrying about every little sound the car makes. They've done it no matter what technical defect might crop up. They're finally German champions. But though victory is assured, the Skoda team isn't resting on their laurels. During the next stages, Kreim and his co-driver Frank Christian give it their all to win the final race too.
100. Schikane von rechts. 40, kehre rechts.
Frank Christian explains that ahead of the event, they tour the course. Fabian describes what he sees and how he plans to drive each stretch. That's the info he needs to drive the car quickly. So, as his co-pilot, Frank takes notes and gives them back during the scoring round. Having a co-driver who takes good notes is vital to a team's success. After all, the driver can't keep track of every detail on a course that's 120 kilometers long. Rallying is all about teamwork, more so than in other motorsports. Here, the driver and co-driver must trust one another completely. A co-driver warns the driver about upcoming curves and their level of difficulty, as well as warning him of changes to the terrain. Rally's a team sport, says Skoda's Andreas Loya. Fabian couldn't have won this alone. You need a good car, driver, and co-driver, and Frank Christian's excellent. The rest of the team is key too, and theirs is wonderful. The newly crowned German Rally champion also won the season's final race. all at the tender age of 24.
Das gehört dazu. Aber dann dürfen Sie weiter auf die Falle nicht dasselbe schlicken, sonst werden Sie